And there we are. Hello, Emma.
Hey.
So hello, my darling. We're just, you can release your video here. That's okay. So I just want to, have you got your phone on you so we can see who's joining us? Because Claire's gone, I'm going to grab my phone.
I'm on my phone.
Hello, Emma. How are you? Are you okay?
Really
can you see, or have you closed the curtains?
I can see. I like the sun coming in. I'm not going to block it out, so I'll make the most of it as long as you can see me.
I can. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on our breakfast club. So you're Emma Clayton, and can I see your jumper first of all, please? Could you show the world your beautiful jumper?
You can. It's so cool. It's actually
Power of women. Now that's what I'm talking about. Fantastic.
This is actually from a little, I think it's called Made in Margate, maybe. So it's a little boutique in Margate. So local.
That's beautiful. It's beautiful. So Emma, thank you so much. So Emma's one of our wonderful authors who is in When the Goddess Calls Volume 4. You can see that behind me. Over there, you're probably looking and saying, what's that? That's all my essential oils. So this is When the Goddess Calls. Emma, tell us about you. Who are you and where do you live, first of all?
So I live near Dover in Kent, yep. So not too far from the Goddess Rooms, which is awesome for me. I am born and bred Dover, actually. I live 2 doors up from my parents, which was never planned, but here I am. So I'm very close to where I grew up. I left school at 18 and got a job in a large corporation. I was there for 20 years.
Wow.
And then I had my awakening, if you like, when I was faced with redundancy. And I'm so grateful I was, because I am doing what I've done for the last 3 years now, which is kind of healing and learning and growing myself as I help other women on their journey. Anyone really that resonates with my story of struggling with imposter syndrome and anxiety at work, never feeling quite good enough, also never feeling really comfortable in my own skin, body confidence issues and all that kind of thing. And yeah, just a general lack of confidence and worthiness, low self-esteem. So I am, I guess, a coach, mentor, healer, guide.
I know that you're also you're a theatre practitioner, because you've trained here at the Goddess Rooms in I think about 5 or 6 courses, and you know you're a phenomenal healer, but you also work with people with like body conscious, and you know, and you're really incredible about that. So tell us about your journey. How did you unravel into this work?
Yeah, so I guess I based my chapter in the book around like how it unraveled, really. So I started back when I was a gymnast. So I was a gymnast, maybe 4 or 5-year-old gymnast in a leotard. I think you just are set up to compare yourself to the next girl in the lineup. And I always kind of felt very paranoid about my thighs. And I have no idea where it came from, but that was kind of where it started. So I was always very conscious of my body. And then I went to secondary school and there were bullies, and the boys were particularly nasty, and they seemed to really sort of get straight into where it hurt. So they called me thunder thighs, pan cracker, would you believe it? As in the toilet pan. Great.
Really? Oh, yes. That's, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so there was a lot of bullying that went on, and I turned to food when I was very young. I just realised that if I spent my £1 bus money on chocolate on the way home, I just felt so much better. So I'd eat my 4 bars of chocolate on the walk home.
Wow.
So I found a real release and like a crutch in food, chocolate mainly. So I was a real active kid. So I managed to, like, the weight wasn't really a thing until kind of puberty hit. And then it started to pile on, in particular, like through my late teens into my 20s, when I also discovered like booze, had a string of bad relationships, which didn't help my confidence either. And it was when I turned 30 that I was like, I had that first kind of realization where I was like, what the hell am I doing with my life? And it was like that rock bottom moment where I was surrounded by so many people who loved me, and I couldn't have hated myself anymore, what I saw in the mirror. And so from that moment, I kind of vowed to myself that I was going to turn it around and do something about it. I didn't know what that looked like. And it was probably a few more years before I really ventured into the kind of personal development space, if you like, where it wasn't just about what you put in your mouth and how you moved your body. It was all about your mindset and understanding your subconscious limiting beliefs and the energy around it and all that kind of thing. So I would say that was about 5 years ago that I came across my first health coach online, who really kind of like sparked this passion in me to really learn more about myself, to learn why I behaved the way I did, especially when it came to the food. Like I was really determined not to hate myself because it just did. I just knew all along that there had to be a better way to think and feel about myself. So that's kind of how it unraveled. And then it was only about 3 or 4 years ago that I found, like, I stumbled across the body positivity community, and I was like, there's this whole community online, and it was relatively new back then, I guess. It's a bit more mainstream now, but there's this whole community online that these women of all shapes, sizes, colours, ages, who are unapologetically themselves. And it was just like, thank the Lord. So it kind of really helped challenge my kind of conditioning around what it meant to be, like what shape and size you were meant to be in your own body. And that really helped me to shift how I saw things. So that was probably the start. And then it was when I got put at risk of redundancy that I realised I was in Bali, and I had some big breakthroughs around my own journey because I was there with my health coach. We were on a yoga retreat. It's a very beautiful spiritual place, as you know, having run your retreats there. And I just had this moment up the volcano, which was a major breakthrough around the food. And I also had a breakthrough where I was like, oh my God, I need to take the redundancy because I've learned so much that I need to share that with other women because I know I'm not the only one. That's how it unraveled.
So I on your pages, I mean, I'm going to read your bio, but on your pages, I love where you literally, I mean, you put on your swimming costume and you take pictures. I've seen some really corking pictures, which you're fantastic. And you run into the water and you say, come on, this is me. And you empower. I mean, here at the Goddess Rooms, we empower each other, but you empower so many women. And people have relationships with food. All right, so we can have the most beautiful, you and I would perceive the most gorgeous shape, and she's wonderful, yet she has this relationship with food and loathes herself. How would that start, Emma? How did you, I know you said you bought the 4 bars of chocolate at night or after school. How was the loathing, and how, can you just explain that? Because there are many people that are going to watch this and they're going to go, Huck, that's how I am. I feel just like that. I have those thoughts. And then they can reach out to you.
Yeah. So I think if I look at myself during my 20s, certainly my relationship with food so we all have a relationship with food, right? Because we all have to eat. We have to eat to survive. So we all have a relationship, whether we're aware of it, whether it's good, bad, neutral. And I don't mean good or bad as in, extremes, but we all have one. And I think I was very aware that I was punishing myself with food, but also using it really to celebrate. And like, it was almost like any excuse to feed myself, I would. So I was very much a binge eater, a closet binge eater, secret binge eater. So I didn't make a big, I didn't do it publicly. But the biggest sort of aha for me was that I was trying to fulfill something inside of me that was an emptiness. So it makes sense, right? You're empty inside, you eat. It's very grounding when you eat. So it brings you down to earth, even if it's just for that kind of moment. And and it fills something inside of you. And I liked that full feeling, that fulfilled feeling. And I guess for me, I was always chasing something, whether it was my grades at school, whether it was acceptance by my peers, whether it was love from my family, whether it was, you know, a job that paid me some decent money when I was younger. And then all through my career, I was chasing the next promotion, the next pay rise, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And I was never fulfilled.
Yeah.
So I was searching for something outside of me that was very much only going to be fulfilled inside of me. So yeah,
I understand everything you're saying, and it's, you know, we kind of relate to that. And you know what's really I really become present to it, listening to the women, especially all the amazing authors, because we're going to be interviewing the authors every day. There is one thing that every single one of you say, is the unworthiness, right? Mm-hmm. And even you come from a beautiful family, you have a beautiful, it's not like, you know, you've got a lovely mum and dad, you've moved a couple of doors down, you know, you've grown up in the beautiful, mm-hmm. you know, everyone thinks that they coming onto spiritual path, they have to have a completely devastation. Well, it's not mm-hmm. like that. If it's there, it's there. And it is the unworthiness. And there's, in a society that trains and programs our brains to be unworthy, that we're not good enough for this, or we don't look like that, or our hair shouldn't be like that, or we should have the same eyebrows drawn in, or we all have to have lips, or you know, we all have to be a certain way, or you have to be stick thin, you know, and let me tell you about the stick thin. Many years ago, we had some beautiful models like the Sophie Lorens and the Marilyn Monroes, and they were absolutely stunning. And when they used these ladies, not these ladies, but ladies like this for the catwalk, what happened was they would walk down on the catwalk and nobody would look at the clothes. No one would look at the clothes, because they were just in awe at the women, because they were simply stunning. So the creators of the clothes, you know, the designers, they decided to use slimmer women, very slim women, so that they could just hang the clothes on, so that the clothes would be noticed and not the women. And that's how it came in. But media, and how people, because everything is drawing you in like a toxic NLP, media, people, the women decided that's what people wanted, and that's where the eating disorders, and you know, I've never had an eating disorder, but I do totally and utterly resonate with what you're saying, because you know, it's just as easy to go for a glass of wine when, you know, like that, it will numb you. And I know if I'm feeling a bit stressed now, I can go to my mum's and have a great big massive dinner of my mum's dinner, and I think lots of people will relate to this, and then I can just lay down and go, oh, lovely, I feel grounded, I feel safe, I feel yummy, I'm eating so many roast potatoes, and you know, and it's food that makes you do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's how you have your relationship with the food. So this is phenomenal. I'm going to read out your bio, and such a look. This is Emma. Isn't she beautiful? I tell her all the time, because I really mean it. She's just goes. She must be like, and I kiss her and everything. So as a global confidence coach, career and mentor, and an online content creator, Emma Clayton brings high-performing women out of hiding to confidently claim their dream career and life, whilst creating freedom and success on their own terms. So Emma was once a high-achieving corporate director earning a six-figure salary, who felt like a total fraud of risking all and losing all. Despite her experience and a long list of accolades during her 20 years with a global Fortune 500 insurance company, she was always taking on the impossible and delivering against all the odds and against herself. I can feel that as well. When she manifested an attractive severance package at her job in 2017, she jumped at the chance for freedom. Although she never looked back, what Emma didn't know was that escaping the corporate wouldn't cure her insecurity and her imposter syndrome overnight, which is because it's ingrained. Emma dove into ways, I think that meant to say dived into ways to heal and to grow, to learn to love the skin she's in, and to find a more authentic level of confidence, what she'd known before. She hired her first business coach and got ready to launch her food, freedom, and body love coaching business. When she realized that was successful, high-performing women really needed is a mentor to help them tackle stubborn blocks to self-belief that she'd had, she pivoted to include this amongst her offerings. And once Emma started teaching her clients the tools, the strategies, and the methods that completely changed her own life, she began seeing them break through with their dream jobs, promotions, and complete changes in career direction, and feeling more seen, heard, and fulfilled. Through her signature, which is real, R.E.A.L. process, Emma helps her clients liberate their inner courage and confidence and to rise into their unapologetic, fully expressed selves at work and into their personal lives. Now, Emma offers her clients a unique and powerful blend of support from her training and certifications in leadership, stress management, neuro-linguistic programming, nutrition and lifestyle coaching, mind-body eating psychology, Jikiden Reiki, theta healing, and beliefetics. When Emma isn't hanging out on Zoom with awesome clients, she hangs out with me. So when she doesn't hang out with her Oscar, she can often be found renovating her home with her partner, Adam, renting out their quirky backyard Airbnb, lovingly built from scratch and named the Pizza Hut, for the attached wood fire oven, or having snuggles with her Cocker Spaniel Buddy. If you're lucky, you might even catch her reminiscing about her gymnastic days and still pulling off the splits. What fun.
There's Buddy.
Oh, hello, Buddy. Buddy, oh.
No, he's soundo.
That's okay. That's a pretty epic story. Yeah, Emma. You are always committed to, I mean, your story is, I won't go into it right now, but it is really, it's amazing. I'd love everybody to pick up your story in this book and to read. And so anybody watching on here, talk about Real. What is that you have created? R.E.A.L.
So I like a little acronym, and I feel like I'm in my realpreneur phase as an entrepreneur. So I'm all about showing up authentically as me. I don't love the word authentic because I think it's bandied around too much. So real just says what it is. I like to keep it real. I like real talk, all those things. So, and then I realized that real is actually an acronym. So the R stands for revealing, the kind of junk in your trunk, all these like limiting beliefs, all the things holding you back. And when we can do that, we can actually decondition, unlearn those things and reprogram you for success, confidence, whatever. So that's the R piece, and that's where we start on the journey. The E is then all about embodying. So this is when, when I reached for food that first time, I kind of left my body almost.
Yeah.
And we do this so often. And as a corporate career woman, and many other women do this in different professions, we kind of like find ourselves up here in our head, just like in our thoughts. We have 60,000+ thoughts a day, so we're just up here. We're like almost like I used to joke that I was like cut off from the throat down. Embody is all about reconnecting to yourself, coming back to yourself, and that's the process of feeling your feelings rather than eating them, and actually being in front of a mirror and being with all the stuff that comes up when you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're uncomfortable, to get you to a place that you can actually accept, and then who knows, love on yourself as well. So that's the embody part. A is all about aligning to then who you're becoming. So this is looking at who's the future version of you, what's the next level version of you, and how does she walk, talk, dance, all those kind of things. And actually, okay, how do we take steps, and how do we remove the blocks and the fears to stepping into that next level version of you. And then the L is for actually leading from a place of knowing who you are, having cleared out a lot of that junk, having returned to yourself and knowing where you're going, and actually putting it into practice in the field. So that's kind of like my signature process, if you like that, and how I work with women in my programs.
Love it. I absolutely love it. It's incredible work that you do. Yeah, there is a lot of the word authentic being flown about, and we know all that, and there's a lot of people that are they're genuinely trying to help people. It's a big trend. Everyone wants to set up their own business and work for themselves, and I'm here to help 2 billion women, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. But when it comes to actually doing the work themselves, I'm sorry, but I'm going to put it straight out there now, they don't do it. They run. They will be driven by the sound of money, but when it comes to do your inner work, your dirty work, they won't do it. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine, because that's their journey. But what I love about you, Emma, is that you get down and you do the dirty work. That's what I call it. And we feel. And it's so important that we feel as females, because most of us, including yourself, how we used to be was in the corporate world. I worked for a big skincare company. I was driven by sales. Go, 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 go. I never once thought about my body. I would take uppers to stay awake, downers to go to sleep, drink this, drink that. I mean, everyone knows my story. So, and it was to keep going. So I had figures going up on that wall. I was doing the best. I was running the best. And I was in my head. And after the big breakdown, I had to start to feel. And that is where you come in. That is what you help people with. I mean, we do here, but you're with real, the word real. They've got to feel. They've got to feel, because you cannot sustain living in that world. It doesn't work. It doesn't. I don't care what anyone says, it doesn't work. It can't sustain. So you create the most amazing courses for these women, and it doesn't matter what size you are. If you're a size 6 to a size 26, women are women to you, and you're able to help them grow, which is
absolutely. Yeah. And do you know what the crazy thing is, as I've started my theta journey and sort of looking at my own psychic abilities, my psychic ability is feeling. I feel a lot. And I absolutely love it. And I'm like, I've denied myself this for so long. So that's beautiful. So I can really make that process of returning to yourself and actually embodying and feeling those feelings quite beautiful, because it doesn't have to be a scary thing that we've avoided for our whole entire lives. It gets to be a beautiful journey. And I get excited when someone can say, oh yeah, I felt that, or I felt something, because it could be a first in a long time.
I know, and it is, and many women are waking up and they are feeling, and they need to start to feel, and the feelings are scary, Emma, because like we go back to the beginning, the feelings are of unworthiness. But you also have brought in, now you've done many courses in the theta, you're able to bring that in to release the beliefs and download with new beliefs.
It's amazing. And some people that are also in this kind of personal development space are fascinated by how quickly you can kind of pull these beliefs out. It hasn't got to take months. Actually hasn't got to take months and months and months. It can happen quite quickly. And so that's really like amazing to be able to do that for people. It's like awesome.
Yeah. So Emma, it has been amazing. I'm just going to pick up the phone to see oh, got so many people. Let's have a look. I've gone back into the wrong bit, excuse me. I find it. Okay. Oh, Emma. We have, right. Just a minute, let me just turn that down. So we have Emma Mills, Amy Mills says, woohoo, morning beauts.
Hey,
Whitener says, love you. Julie Taylor says, Emma is epic.
Ah, she's epic.
Baker says, wow, Emma, you are amazing.
Oh, thank
Trisha
you.
Butterfield, one of our sisters from a lot of the girls on the other books, actually, she's from Australia. Exactly, Taylor, you gotta do the dirty work. And Lynn Robinson says, you are a beautiful soul, Emma. I love you.
Thanks,
Amanda Elliott says, creating beautiful changes. We have a few people on here, actually. I can't see everybody who is on here, but they are on here. You are Debbie Sturd, you're amazing, Emma.
Oh,
she is, isn't she? So I'm going to turn that off. So Emma, it's been incredible. So what's your next step?
My next step is just to kind of really enforce the work that I do and just repeat it and get it out there to as many people as I can. I'm just finding different ways of making it more accessible to more people. So for Lockdown 2.0, I've done just a 30-day pop-up support group called Uplifted, because I just wanted people to know that there was another way to be during that time. I'm going to do a workshop next week around the theatre and belief work that I do. So that's exciting. So just more of the same. Just to really establish kind of my place in where I can help women in their journeys, so that it's really clear to them if I can be the one to help them.
You can. And Emma, it's been an absolute honor speaking to you. I'm really blessed that you're in my life. I absolutely adore you. And so we're going to have a lot of work with all the goddesses from when the goddess calls. So everybody just follow Emma. She's amazing. And yeah, thank you for being here, Emma.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Bye-bye, my darling. Thank you. Bye. Power to the women, yeah?